And we begin tonight with breaking news with what investigators in Utah are calling a political assassination. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at an event at Utah Valley University. Good evening, I'm Brennan Gurley. It happened in broad daylight at an event at Utah Valley University. As Charlie Kirk addressed the crowd, a single fatal shot was fired. Video shows security rushing 31-year-old Kirk to the hospital and the panicked crowd running for cover.
Up top, I just saw him grab, it looked like his neck, and there's just blood pouring out everywhere, and his eyes kind of rolled back.
Traumatizing, like, you know, it scares. Like, I don't even want to go to school tomorrow.
President Trump confirmed the death on Truth Social. Kirk was a rising star in conservative politics and fierce ally of the president's. He was a co-founder of Turning Point USA, which advocates for conservative politics on university campuses. About an hour ago, President Trump has instructed that flags be flown at half-staff to honor his memory. Texas Governor Greg Abbott released a statement tonight. He said in part, quote, "Charlie's voice was a beacon for millions of young Americans searching for truth, courage, and conviction. The senseless act of violence has no place in America. Our prayers are with Charlie's family and his loved ones, especially the two young children he leaves behind. Texas stands with them in mourning and in honoring Charlie's enduring legacy," unquote. East Texas State Representative Jay Dean is condemning the attack against Kirk. He posted on social media saying in part, quote, "I'm absolutely horrified and devastated at the senseless murder of conservative Speaker Charlie Kirk today. A strong opinion should never be a death sentence in a free country," unquote. We now want to bring in Dr. John Barrett, a political science professor at LeTourneau University. Dr. Barrett, thanks for being here with us. What is your initial reaction to this heartbreaking news of Charlie Kirk's shooting and subsequent death?
It's really very sad. You know, I remember a time when people would use this phrase of, "I completely disagree with what you say, but I'll fight to the death to defend your right to say it." And it feels like as a culture we've lost this idea that freedom of speech means we're going to disagree, and that's okay. And I feel bad for college students these days that you've got that kind of lurking in the background.
And Dr. Barrett, you know, beyond the politics, whether you're on the left side or the right side, what does this kind of violence say about the state of our society right now?
Well, it's certainly an indicator of growing polarization. You know, Charlie Kirk didn't hold office. You know, he didn't wield any power directly. He was just an activist, someone who went out there and tried to engage with college students. And so, again, that just is an indicator of how intense the political rhetoric is these days.
We know that he's a young man, 31 years old. He leaves behind a wife, two young children, and also loving family and friends. What do you think Charlie Kirk's legacy will be, both within the conservative movement and beyond?
Well, he was certainly an indicator of some transformations that have gone on in conservative politics, you know, kind of a shift away from the old school Reagan conservatism to the, you know, Trump conservatism of populism. And so he's definitely an indicator of that. He was a new type of young conservative activist, you know, not just in how he approached things through social media, but the type of conservative politics that he championed was also different.
And Dr. Barrett, lastly, in light of this tragedy, what do you believe needs to change in the tone of political discourse nationwide?
Well, I think as a society, we need to get better at listening to each other and simply agreeing to disagree and just trusting that the system, that the process can kind of work its way out. And that's a lot of what we do at LeTourneau is we try to have these very frank conversations, and I think that's a very important skill to cultivate.
Dr. John Barrett, thank you for your insight.